Phase Hero starts now. Happy Wednesday, everybody. BD here, joined today by Jamie Jirak.
Good morning. Love that 11 a.m. start time.
We got Jenna Anderson.
Hey, everybody. Can we shout out Adam Kahn, who was in the comments saying he was supposed to be at the Gladiator 2 world premiere, but is here instead and is happy with the decision. We love that. I would have gone and met Pedro Pascal, but I respect the decision and I love it.
Well, I guess it's a good time to let everybody know that joining today's show is Penn now.
He's a little busy.
Thank you for hanging with us, everybody. We had all these people waiting and so many comments about people being excited to watch with us. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Phase Hero. This is only our first show today. We are doing 2 episodes. It's a little double feature because this is our trailer show. We got to talk about Thunderbolts. We got to talk about Captain America: Brave New World. We got to talk about What If Season 3. We got to talk about the Peacemaker footage. It says Creature Commandos in the description, but Jenna let me know, and she reminded me that there is not actually any new Creature Commandos footage. But if we want to talk about Creature Commandos, guess what? We can. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Jamie Jirak is going to lose her freaking mind. And then when that's all said and done with, we're going to come back just about 2 hours after this show wraps up for a very special episode where we are talking to Marvel Studios head of streaming television and animation, Brad Winderbaum. It's a big day. It's a big day. I did that without stuttering.
I'm impressed.
Whew, whew, whew.
That was like a Jamie recap right there.
Yeah.
We got Jamie recaps and BD previews of big days on Phase Hero. Here's what's coming up today. I kind of touched on all that. I want to shout out Adam Barnhart. House of Haunts, go support his comic. It hit the goal thanks to some of you who have been supporting the Kickstarter. Hit up Adam Barnhart on Twitter. He's building a comic, 72-page, awesome issue that you can support. You can have it guaranteed to be on its way to you, a physical copy, a digital copy, whatever you want. I love supporting Adam because Adam has supported us, and he has made our incredible logo, which should be on the screen in 3, 2, 1. Boom. There it is. And he also helped us make the podcast art, which I can now go in and just interchange images and, all that kind of stuff. So we really love Adam. Adam is very talented. And the fact that you guys have gone out, supported Adam with his comic endeavor is awesome. So we just had to get that out of the way. Thank you, Adam. Not even out of the way.
Thank you, Adam.
Proud to say it.
I pledged. That comic looks awesome. Like, it's not just because it's like my friend. I'm like, I want to read that and really badly.
Yeah, I read Shit Show, and Adam knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Adam knows what he's doing with these comics. Jenna, you're the comic professor.
Ringing endorsement. I mean, like Jamie said, he is our friend, but even beyond that, great comics. I'm glad that people are supporting all of what he's doing.
And one last comment here we got to have before we get started. Sir Orange Smurf, your check is in the mail. Everyone's hair looks good. Look at us. Look at us. Thank you for looking at us and liking what you see. Go Phase Hero. We have the best hair in the biz. And I thought, and I wanted to thank everybody for watching the Renzi Feliz interview that we did. That was a really big get for Phase Hero. It's really cool to be able to work with Max, to see the episodes in advance, be able to make content for my YouTube channel is one thing, but to be able to grab Renzi for 20 minutes and grab his insights. That interview is over 250,000 views across platforms if you count, social clips, downloads, and all that. So thank you for everybody for supporting that. I'm definitely going to round up those numbers like at the end of the week and send it to Max and say, hey, look what we did. And hopefully they want to work with us again, because that's how this works, everybody. So thank you so much for supporting that. But now it's time to talk about some trailers. What do we have first here?
Thunderbolts?
We do Thunderbolts? I think we should do Thunderbolts.
That's the
Yeah.
Thunderbolts. All right.
The chat really wants to know how you feel about one part of it.
What part? Yelena's haircut? Is that what you want?
That's more of a Jamie and I topic. More the tower. Avengers Tower.
Oh, I know. You know what? I gotta say, if I'm completely candid, I find Val so far out of context to be a little bit of an underwhelming answer. But I recognize, very importantly, that she very importantly recognizes the history of Avengers Tower. She earned my respect. She talked about the battles that have happened there. She talked about the optics of it. She gets it. The optics of Avengers Tower are very important. So I really appreciated that. I'm going to cut to it right here where they all walk in to Avengers Tower. Is that the same elevator that the Avengers got in when the Hulk had to take the stairs?
I think so.
It looks like it.
It looks like it, yeah. I every time I see Val, I'm like, oh, is that what I want to do with my hair? Like when she was in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I came so close to getting that streak, and now I'm watching this and I'm like, it's very rosy, and I can't help it. She looks so good.
Yeah, they all look at Sebastian Stan in this damn trailer.
I know.
It's like a good-looking Terminator.
I just love the fact that everyone else has a super suit and he's just wearing a t-shirt in like some of these scenes. Like it's really a testament to Bucky as a character at this point in the franchise that he can just be extremely casual but still fit in with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. I like this comment from Funko Pop Portraits. I bet Val is forming this team per direction of President Ross, but on the down low. I mean, I feel like that's really not far-fetched at all.
Yeah.
I think this like Ross is basically probably going to be like Amanda Waller to the Suicide Squad with the Thunderbolts. No, I mean, I could see that happening for sure.
It's possible.
But like, is he still alive in this movie?
That's the question.
Great
Who
question.
knows?
Maybe that's what the asterisk is for.
Yeah.
That asterisk is for Dark Avengers. Come on.
I mean, it is, but it's also like they
that's
have
part
this
of it.
scene. They have this scene later on where Red Guardian is like, "We're the Thunderbolts." It's like I don't know if he's the first person to suggest that. I don't know if another character suggests the name. Like, yeah, it would be interesting to see if Ross is dead, maybe they're in his memory. If he's not dead, then it is at his direction. Like, I feel like there's a lot of ways that they can go with it, and they're definitely hiding those possibilities right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I watched this trailer with a friend, and when Red Guardian said, "We are the Thunderbolts," terrible impression, I'm sorry, but I can't help myself. We both kind of groaned like, "Oh no, that's like, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?" But then they made fun of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is good. This is good." I think overall, I mean, I think we could share our reactions and thoughts on the quality of the trailer, and if it gets us excited, for me, it absolutely does. I think this is a great trailer, and in my opinion, it's the best trailer Marvel dropped this past week. It's number one.
I agree. And you know who might also have opinions? Someone that's backstage right now.
Aaron!
Yay!
Can't hear you. While Aaron sorts that out, Jamie, what do you think? What do you think of the trailer?
This is my favorite of the Marvel trailers we've gotten as well. This just seems like so much shit. A thing I can say. I love this grouping together. I love they're going to be sassy and a little mean to each other. I love when Yelena's like, yeah, for like 2 seconds. Yeah, you get his ass. And the fact that Bucky, they think he's saving them, but then he blows up their car. I love what we're working with here. I'm all in on this movie. I think it's safe to say it's the Marvel project I'm most excited for next year.
Ooh, you know what? Fantastic Four is next year, but I right now have to agree with you. When a trailer for Fantastic Four comes out, maybe I'll change my mind.
Same.
But I think Thunderbolts looks great. Jenna, what do you think?
I mean, Fantastic Four for me, the first trailer could just be like a static shot of the Baxter building for 2 minutes, and it would still be my most anticipated of the movies that are coming out next year. But of the trailers that we have so far, of the movies that are immediately on the horizon, like, yeah, this is definitely above and beyond for me. I think this trailer just has so much personality, and I love how they're marketing the movie. I was trying to pull it up on my phone, but I can't find the screenshot. I remember when they sent out the first synopsis for the first trailer, like they're kind of making fun of the fact of like a bunch of indie movie sellouts bring you Thunderbolts. Like, I like that they're leaning into the idea of, Jake Schreier working on Beef and all of these actors joining this project and having fun with it. And I think the personality is just radiating off of it, and that makes me excited.
Aaron, can we hear you yet? Still no.
Oh no.
All right. I want to bring up a theory while Aaron continues to sort through some technical difficulties there. I saw that. I'm not taking credit for this. I saw it on TikTok, but then I rewatched the trailer and tried to figure it out for myself. Taskmaster is cooked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Taskmaster is cooked early on in this film. Gigi's like, thanks for playing. I mean, as cooked as Sal's wife and son. Like, and I saw something that said it suggested that this shot where Taskmaster is in Avengers Tower, Taskmaster is digitally edited in there and is not actually there as a mislead. And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe it, because if you go back to these earlier shots, Taskmaster's not in the elevator. Taskmaster's not walking in the room with them.
Interesting.
I think, yeah.
I just want to see Taskmaster and Yelena, because like Taskmaster is like there's all the Black Widow stuff. I'm interested in seeing where that goes, but that seems kind of sad. She's had a really rough life.
Yep.
I remember when the first trailer dropped and I was convinced that Red Guardian was the character who was like digitally added into that scene. And then like seeing more of the scene, it seems like he's speaking dialogue. So that's probably not the case unless they're being really sneaky and like shooting multiple versions of the scene. But I agree with you. I feel like in order for this movie to continue its stakes all the way through, and like the shot that you have paused right now, Taskmaster is not there at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe she is dying pretty soon around this moment. And then that's going to be like kind of a turning point for the team. You need to have stakes. You need to have some sort of casualties in a movie like this with a team like this in order to show that like not everyone's going to get out of it. Okay.
Listen,
so yeah.
As your resident Avengers Tower super fanboy, I could tell you they're standing at the base of Avengers Tower here. That is right there outside of Grand Central Station. There's a little diner right there. I've been there in real life. I've watched Avengers 100 times over. That's the base. There's a little bridge right there. They might be on it. They might be, I think they're right under it. That is where all this, this fight is clearly happening right at the base of Avengers Tower. First of all, I think that's very cool. But also I think this could be early in the film where they all meet Val for the first time. And I've seen it be a popular theory that they're all going to be here watching Sentry emerge and kill Taskmaster. Mm-hmm. That would feel kind of shitty, I'll be honest. Even though I don't really care about the version of Taskmaster we got in the MCU, I like what you said about I would like to see Yelena and Taskmaster hash out being Black Widows and having that sort of messed up history. It feels like a stakes gimmick, but as long as I'm going to reserve judgment. This is just a theory at this point, and we'll see what happens. Aaron, one more try here. Can we hear you?
Yeah.
Yo!
Yeah, there we go. Excellent. 5 microphones later. Okay. I listened to it. You really think Taskmaster is just going to eat it right here?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Well, I guess so. I don't know.
My thing about that wild. Is that like a lot of people didn't like her in Black Widow, and I don't like the idea. I feel like if you kill her quickly, then you're just like giving those people something that they don't deserve because they were mean.
I was just about to say that they would be like, okay, where's Tony Masters? We're totally going to get like real Taskmaster. And it's like, don't do that. That's just not worth the sake of the argument. So I hope if she dies, it's like a heroic, like decent death that isn't immediately going to provoke that kind of speculation. Or maybe she doesn't die at all.
Yeah, I think that's part of my reservations on it turning out to be a kind of like a lame death, because it would feel like they recognize a lot of people hated what they did with Taskmaster and Black Widow. And they'd be kind of giving into that. And I don't really like reactiveness when it comes to creativity, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited to go back to Avengers Tower. Shout out to Trevor Guy here. Thank you so much, Trevor. Wishing nothing but the best for my favorite peeps. Who us? Thank you so much, Trevor. All right, we got another trailer to talk about. Let's go to Captain America Land. Boom. Marvel Studios presents Captain America Brave New World. Any big takeaways from this trailer before I dive into mine? Because I yap a lot.
I want to hear what Aaron thinks.
So I didn't expect to get 2 of these at the same time. It's very, very, very confusing to be like, what is going on? Why is everything happening at the same time? A lot of Carl Lumbly in this trailer. I'm hoping that there's as much Carl Lumbly in the movie as in this trailer. That'd be cool. The duality of this, I guess, giving people more Red Hulk, leaning into the like spy thriller of it all is probably a good move. I would be curious to know how much of this is new and how much of this it was seen at D23 / other presentations, because I've never seen the other parts of this before, and I was like, oh man, this is wild. Lizzie, oh boy, you kill Sam Wilson in this movie?
Or are they talking about Taurus?
Okay. Social media isn't fraud enough right now. He just falls out of the sky.
Well,
I mean, I think
we've
how
seen.
do I put this delicately?
There's
certain things on the internet, I suppose, that could lead you to believe that vibranium not as durable maybe as we're led to believe. I don't know. I just want this to be as good as possible, because the discourse around this is already so stupid that I just need it to be good.
And to clarify, she meant Torres Falcon.
Yeah.
Not Sam.
Yeah.
Which could happen, but would be sad. But I'm with you, Aaron. Like, I just want this movie to be good, because Sam is Cap.
Mhm.
He's Cap, and I want to. But also, you can't. Harrison Ford is Red Hulk. I'm thriving already. Like, that's all I need.
I do find it interesting with this trailer how they are selling the movie and what they're also withholding at the same time. Of like, I fully expected to see Leader in some capacity beyond just seemingly the one shot of him on the phone wearing the hat that Beatty had just paused there. I like that we're still hiding things from the audience. I'm very curious to see how much more they might be hiding. Even Tiamat, like if you know, but there's a good portion of the audience that doesn't even understand what that third act like set piece is. So there's a lot of questions, especially given what we know about like the reshoots and everything. But I agree with y'all. I want this movie to be as good as humanly possible.
I find it interesting that we aren't seeing the Leader in the trailers. I imagine that's something we'll see before the movie comes out, probably. But when I asked Tim Blake Nelson at San Diego Comic-Con about it, he said he insisted on having a practical head. Man's rocking a big old noggin. That hat. So I think that's going to be really cool to see. And in a movie where we're getting a CGI Red Hulk, and I want to say the CGI looks good.
It does.
Giancarlo I can't wait to see Giancarlo in this movie. He is great in everything. I think Red Hulk looks awesome. It's really nice to have a scary Hulk again after Professor Hulk became such a waste, basically. Sorry, that's an exaggerated take, but I'm tired of Smart Hulk. I like scary, rageful Hulk more than Smart Hulk. I'm just tired of the Sam Wilson, shit talking and discourse. And like, I know every time somebody says something negative about Sam Wilson, like social media wants to instantly pile on them, thus bringing more attention to the negativity. I'm just like, ignore that. I try my best. Every once in a while, I'll see something that I have to quote or say something about. For the most part, I try to just like be like, you know what? You have a bad take. Keep your bad take. I'm not going to amplify it because it just gets exhausting. Like when you quote tweet something, I mean, I think there's no denying it comes from a good place, but it's also like, I'm going to get some engagement if I am like, dunking on this person who has very obviously stupid take. And so it just becomes a cycle of toxicity, even if it's coming from a good place. That's why for the most part, I'm just like, God, like, yes, Sam Wilson's Captain America. If you don't think so, why are we arguing about this? It's a stupid argument. It's just, I don't know. That whole thing is ridiculous. All right. We got a question for Jenna here. Does Bob have a weakness? I mean, how can the low-powered heroes stand up to Sentry? Can he be beaten in the comics? Do explain, if you will.
This is kind of a two-prong answer because Sentry, OG Sentry, and like the more modern reinvention of Sentry are two different things. And it has to do a lot with like psychic manipulation and things tied to the negative zone. Like the newer version of Sentry literally is tied to negative zone energy. And so that is a huge thing to kind of go up against him. I honestly think that the fact that he only has these very specific weaknesses and this team really has no way to fight him is what makes the conflict of this movie so interesting to me, because it's just, as we've joked about previously, it's just a bunch of people with shields and guns and they're going up against ostensibly a godlike person who can only be stopped in a very specific way. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to change comic canon and have him have some sort of Achilles heel, some like kryptonite sort of thing, but there's definitely options.
How would you compare Sentry and Superman?
I hate that debate because a lot of people will argue that Sentry's better than Superman. And by people, I mean Jim Viscardi. I remember hearing some of that in Slack and being like, okay. I think it's two different types of characters. I think Superman has his powers, has the level of powers that he has, but he also has the restraint to use them for very specific sort of means. Whereas like Sentry is often kind of a loose cannon. Like he can, when left to his own devices or when manipulated by other people, like it is kind of scary what he's capable of.
Sentry is going to be. I will always kind of wish we had Stephen Yeun play Sentry. No shade to Lewis Pullman who's playing him, but I just love Stephen, and I'll always wonder what that would have been like a little bit. But who knows? I mean, Lewis could knock it out of the park. I'm excited to see it. I hope he wears a full-on costume. I remember when Stephen got like he said Robert Kirkman slipped and said that Stephen told him he was wearing a blue and yellow suit. So I assume there's a full Sentry costume coming in this movie. And he's probably going to fly out of Avengers Tower and wreck Taskmaster in it. All right, we got one more Marvel trailer. Real quick on Captain America. Overall, just thoughts. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you disappointed? Did it exceed expectations? Jamie, what'd you think?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it we've seen already. I think Isaiah in prison is kind of like some of the newest stuff, some new Red Hulk stuff. But I'm excited for this movie. I think it looks good. I think that I'm excited for the action. I think it's going to be like a more serious version of what Thunderbolts is. I think they're both going to be really good action movies, and this one is going to be a little maybe darker. And I'm into that. I'm into whatever they want to give me.
Yeah. Jenna, what'd you think?
I agree. Like, I think this was a really good trailer. I think it was cut together in a very intriguing sort of way. To answer Aaron's question from earlier, having seen the D23 footage, this is probably about like 50-50 new and stuff we've already seen. And even then, it's like set pieces that we already have seen, but maybe like slightly adjusted footage out of that. And so I think just to continue to sell this movie when we're only a couple months out, I think they're doing a decent job. I do think the Thunderbolts trailer ultimately has a little bit more personality and just is more rewatchable for me. But I do think this trailer accomplishes what it needs to accomplish.
I could not agree with you more. I don't even have anything else to say about it. So I'm going to let Aaron wrap us up here on the Cap 4 thoughts. Quality of the trailer. What'd you think? You got to be unmuted.
Oh, no.
Am I here? Okay.
Yeah, cool. There we go.
I just want people to take it on its own merits. You know what I mean? There's so much to enjoy about all these different projects. After the year we've just had, everything doesn't have to be the exact same as. And by the way, this is particularly, it feels like it's going to be a darker movie that I think people really kind of anticipate in a lot of ways. Fantastic Four is kind of a island of positivity amidst some other real wild stuff that's going to happen. I feel like, even though I joked with you guys earlier, some people gonna die at Thunderbolts, like show, like at least 3 of them, over under 3, probably for that. So I'm excited to see Anthony Mackie finally get his time. I love that he's signing merch, Cap now. You got to lean in on all of that. Justice for his friend not getting to be sexiest man alive. Let's go.
We got a question from Luis real quick. Is there a chance we see Cavill in these films as per rumors, or do you think he'll appear? For
the listeners, Jamie just rolled her eyes.
What is WIS3? What am I?
I think Witcher season 3.
Oh, not gonna be Witcher season 3.
Yeah.
But also no, I think Deadpool and Wolverine was it for now, at least for now.
Yeah,
for Cap.
I agree.
I think that was the wish fulfillment moment for fans wanting to see that. I know, Jamie, I like.
Should have been Dougray Scott. Should have been Dougray Scott.
I agree with that.
Read Tim's comment because that's really funny.
Aaron, Tim sent you $10 to get a poster from something to decorate.
Well, I mean, that would be weird because this is my kitchen, so that would be a little strange. I don't want.
I got posters in my kitchen.
Yeah, I have posters in mine.
I do not. My whole house looks like this. So, all right, we got
some news just dropped. Some exciting news tonight
what happened?
at 6 p.m. PT on Marvel's YouTube channel. Marvel's Assembled: The Making of Agatha All Along. Tonight.
I know what Jamie's doing.
Yes, my plans are solidified.
Here we go. Hold on, there you go. There's a headline for you. Breaking news: Agatha Assembled drops tonight. That's fun. All right, we got one more Marvel trailer to watch and talk about. Let's see. We got What If Season 3. I really like this trailer, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So I would like to just pose a question before we really dissect it. Should What If end in Season 3?
It's interesting because I saw somebody tweet, wow, it's crazy that everyone hated the show and now they're begging for more. That's what happens when a season 1 is just okay and a season 2 is really good. Like, that's normal. I could keep going, but I don't blame them for stopping. It's a lot of work. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a different version of this down the line, like a reboot or a season 4 or something, because it does feel like something they could easily continue forever.
Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, season 1 I thought was just okay at best. And then I thought season 2 was a complete home run. And I'm very excited for season 3 because I've seen a little bit more of this at D23. Jamie went to D23.
But I didn't get to go to the Marvel panel.
But I think this is a good trailer. I find, what do we think about Cap saying Avenger Assemble in a trailer rather than seeing it on screen for the first time?
I think in the context of that scene, it works because it seems like Avenger is just the name for their Voltron mech suit. So I think that totally works. To answer your question about should it end with season 3, it's funny in the streaming economy to see people kind of realize how TV works. Because like to Jamie's point, there are so many shows that the season 1 is just good and then the subsequent seasons just get better and better. And it definitely feels like this show is one of those. I part of me wishes that it could just keep going, but I also understand how much AC Bradley was at the heart of what made this show really, really succeed. And I know she's less involved with season 3 than she was in seasons 1 and 2. And so I agree that like I feel like the story beats like certain characters we're gonna maybe see more of, but I'm fine with it ending on its own terms.
This like onslaught of character flashes at the end here. What's this guy's name from the Doctor Strange villain by Mads Mikkelsen? Caecilius is here. We got who's this, Ant-Man?
Maybe
is that Scott Lang?
Or is that Happy? I don't know.
think
Oh, that
that's
might be Happy. This to me looks like Apocalypse, but I'm pretty sure it's Vision. But like, come on, that looks like Apocalypse.
Yeah, it does.
Could it be?
I mean, we got Storm.
That is true.
Voiced by Allison Seeley Smith. And by the way, news on Phase Hero, by the way, Allison Seeley Smith is going to be on the show. We tried to get her on today. I reached out a little bit too late, if I'm completely honest. But we are working to schedule a day for the voice of Storm to join us on Phase Hero. So that's going to be cool. We got...
They do have Oscar Isaac voicing Moon Knight. So you could have him voice Apocalypse again.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Who's this?
Isn't that...
Is it Kate?
Yeah, I want to say that's Katie. Or somebody from like the Shang-Chi Western stuff. That's in the trailer.
Okay.
And then it looks like Kingo's in there earlier, which is cool.
Kingo was in there. He was putting his powers on other people, it looked like. There's just so many at the end there. And I thought it was a really good trailer.
Can we talk about Natasha Lyonne is voicing an entirely new character that they made up for the show? In the shot with Cohorty and Captain Carter, and they're like kind of like leaping in the air, which I've seen people tweet hilariously of like Captain Carter can jump really, really high if she's able to be on the level with two characters who are flying. But she's playing a new character who's named Birdie, and I love the character design. I tweeted as someone who gets mistaken for Natasha Lyonne. I love that now the MCU is kind of helping feed me a little bit, may or may not cosplay, but I like that she's in there. I want to know. I know Jamie is also a huge Natasha Lyonne fan, so
yeah, I think it's really interesting that she's a character in this that's clearly not going to be the character she's in Fantastic Four, and it makes me less certain that she's Herbie because then like she's just voicing things. That sounds that's odd to me, but I don't know. I'm still holding out hope for that, but I think it's kind of cool. And who knows? Maybe somehow this character will be in Fantastic Four. That seems unlikely. But it's very interesting.
Gilgamesh looks like he's with Wakandans.
Oh,
right. Those are like Wakandan spears in the back there.
Yeah.
Also,
it looks like the chat is answering our question that might have been Kate Bishop in the Western episode.
Kate Bishop, which that's my favorite Kate in the MCU if I had to pick one. So I'm for it. All right, Aaron, any thoughts on What If season 3? You want to wrap up?
I just want to ask Jamie, how does it feel to get lied to again, girl?
Can you believe it? Because listen, when Harrison Ford lied to me, I was like, that old man is lying to me. It's funny. But Catherine Hahn lied to me so good that I believed her. Because Joe Deckelmeyer from Screen Rant interviewed Brad Winderbaum. Brad Winderbaum told him about this. And I literally walked out of my interview like, Joe, are you sure Brad told you that? Because Catherine Hahn was convincingly unaware. And so give her an Emmy. She's a really good actress is kind of what I'm, it hurts, it stings, but I will prevail.
Now your tombstone can say lied to by Harrison Ford and Catherine Hahn. Now you don't just say lied to by Harrison Ford.
Hopefully the list will keep growing.
Yes.
Yeah, it has the best of us. All right, well, a couple pieces of Marvel news we want to talk about on today's episode of Phase Hero. Kevin Feige keeps doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on the 2 movies, 3 shows per year thing. I assume the movie rule there doesn't include Spider-Man movies. I think when Sony makes Spider-Man, there will be 3 movies that year. Next year is 3 movies and 3 shows. I also appreciate, I'm pretty sure they've been transparent by saying we're just releasing these because they were ready and we gotta release them because it's 3 movies next year. And it was 4. Y'all remember that one movie, Ron but Schmade? It never got made. So yeah, is that news? Do we consider that news?
Just being confident in saying that, I think, is news in and of itself. I just so people know for the sourcing, Kevin Feige did an interview with Omelette around D23 Brazil, and that's where he said a lot. Like opening Twitter on Saturday, Aaron tried to call me. I was out running errands and I didn't answer. And just like there was so much that Feige had talked about, like you had to just check Twitter and just absorb all of it.
I think the big thing is the Miles Morales bit where Omelette asked Feige, are you guys going to do Miles Morales in live action in the MCU? And paraphrasing here, he said Miles Morales is going to be in Beyond the Spider-Verse. And after that is when they're hoping to bring Miles to the MCU in live action. So Beyond the Spider-Verse, all but certainly ending in a live action version of some sort, right?
Maybe?
No.
I feel like we'll see it in the movie. I don't know if we'll necessarily fully end there, but I think that's something we will jump into. Part of me also, as much as the Spider-Verse movies have been excellent, part of me wants the live action adaptation to be able to do its own thing and not necessarily be beholden to exactly what the Spider-Verse lore is. So I could see either option.
I see the wheels turning.
Speechless.
I think Beyond the Spider-Verse is certainly going to set up a live action crossover there of some sort or a handoff. But also I think Beyond the Spider-Verse is very far away. What I'm hearing about it is that it was and has been still very recently back to script phase. So they haven't animated it because they don't even know where it's going. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be much longer than they planned, which was 6 months, but they didn't even have a plan for the movie quite yet that they had like settled on. It's my understanding. And hope that was not that long ago. So hopefully that's able to come together, but hopefully also in the not so distant future, Denzel Washington in Black Panther 3. First of all, before we even speculate on this, we've all done junket interviews. We've all interviewed pretty cool, famous people that are in a lot of cool projects. Could you imagine sitting across from Denzel Washington and having to play it cool when he reveals to you to reveal to the world that he's going to be in Black Panther 3?
Pretty big, pretty huge. I mean,
Yeah.
Denzel, you don't get better than Denzel. And also though, who's he playing? Who's Denzel going to play? Please, I need to know right now.
Anybody got any guesses?
I feel like we were so unsure that we were even getting Black Panther 3 that like I haven't even really thought as far as like what the arc could be. I don't even want to really harbor a guess because I almost feel like this is one of the rare instances where you could just create a character from scratch and it would be understandable because it's literally Denzel. So I feel like it's way too early to speculate.
Aaron, you have any thoughts on this one? Quiet day for Aaron.
Oh,
okay.
no. Aaron's out again.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, that does make it difficult to
Aaron tweeted about it, so I feel like Aaron is excited about the idea. If I'm going to speak for Aaron, I feel like who wouldn't be excited about Denzel? Denzel.
Yeah, I'll say Denzel's great in Gladiator 2, best part of Gladiator 2, and that's probably not a surprise. But Denzel was phenomenal as I think the name was Cassius, or is that Pedro's? I don't remember the character names. All of them. They're all these, Roman names and stuff, whatever it was back then. I don't know, but he was phenomenal in Gladiator 2. Stole every scene. And that's just, I mean, I'm acting as if it's a revelation that Denzel's a good actor. Like, yeah.
Also, your thing about the Roman names shows me you don't think about the Roman Empire every day.
No. I think a lot of people might question my manhood over that. I don't have like a Roman Empire thought on a daily basis. But I do think it's really cool. I've been there. It was pretty astonishing to see.
You've been there.
Well, I've been to like what's left of it. I've been to the thanks, Mission Impossible. You know what? It's out of order, but let's go to that next.
No, you skipped an important point. You skipped the most important news of the Marvel news.
What are you talking about? That's all
right
that's
above
Denzel. Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It shows where my priorities are.
Yeah, it sure does. Gosh. Feige says she's returning, right? That's what he made it seem like. I don't have the exact quote here, but
I'll pull it up.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. This isn't a surprise. We know she's coming back. It's just a matter of when and how. But Feige seems pretty confident that we're getting Scarlet Witch back.
He says, I can only say that we are excited to find out when and how the Scarlet Witch can come back.
That's enough for me. That's good enough for me.
I actually think they don't have a concrete plan yet, but they know they want to use her again. That's what I think is happening with a lot of stuff in the MCU right now. Even Miles. Like, I just think so much of this, they have some plans more firm than others. I think it's very fluid because they're in a real pivotal point. Something I actually want to ask Brad Winderbaum about when we talk to him in a couple hours. And I obviously they're going to bring Scarlet Witch back. I think they are really probably hammering out when and where. I think that probably is going to rest on the shoulders of Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely and the Russo brothers, probably in some regard, because that's probably where that happens, right? In one of the Avengers movies. Maybe if there's a Doctor Strange 3, it could be anywhere, I suppose. I mean, we're expecting Mephisto and Ironheart, so anything's possible.
So low.
Where? I mean, I'm down, but like,
you're right. Where? Because with Doom, I really feel like they're going to go a little bit of the Children's Crusade business with him and Wanda. Hopefully not in a romantic way. Please, God, don't make them romantic. But it's inevitable, and I do think you're probably right in terms of they don't totally know, which is partly why Agatha kept being cheeky. Is she dead? I don't know. Maybe because they just haven't made decisions yet.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the not so distant future with that. I would assume. All right, let's switch over to DC, shall we?
Yeah.
Max dropped a teaser, and it had some Peacemaker stuff and all kinds of stuff like that. So I figured we could just pull up this teaser, take a look at it. I'm a big White Lotus fan, but Dune is coming Sunday. I have the first episode of Dune. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had time. What else we got in this teaser? White Lotus in Thailand. Is that Walton Goggins?
It is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Parker Posey. I'm so excited for White Lotus.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker looks awesome. All you had to do was literally show me that he's even wearing the same costume. I don't care. I think the helmet is like mildly updated. I don't know.
It is. Because when they started production, James had tweeted a picture, and it's definitely, it might have been one of the ones that's in the room when they're in season 1 of like, here's the little armory that he has, that his dad has. So it might be updated, using one of those. Also, the shot that you have paused, because he's like running through a door, there's a butterfly graffiti on the wall behind him, which, like, given the butterflies in season 1, I'm very curious if that's going to be some sort of plot thread, if like maybe there's people still wanting the butterflies to be a thing or not, like who knows. And we get Rick Flag for like a millisecond of the trailer.
Frank Grillo, Rick Flag debut in Creature Commandos, gonna then appear in Superman and then appear in
Peacemaker
season 2. I've seen all of I'm not allowed to say what I thought of it yet. I've seen all of Creature Commandos, and all I'll say is I'm excited to talk about it when I'm able to talk about it. Rick Flag, seemingly,
yes,
given that he's in 3 titles already, he's going to be pretty big in the DC universe.
I feel like even just on like a Coulson sort of level of just you need those civilian characters. Jamie's face just lit up. Like, you need those civilian characters. You need the people who are just trying their best in the world of gods and monsters. And so I'm glad that he's like a through line through all these projects that thematically seem so different from each other.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in this whole DC universe. I mean, this Superman trailer can't be far off. James Gunn said it's done. I know it's coming before the end of the year, and I'm excited to finally get a look at Superman. That's gonna be cool. I think Peacemaker's gonna be awesome. What else is in this Max teaser? I did cut out some of the other stuff. Welcome to Derry. I'm not, after the ending of the It movies, I'm not super psyched, but like I don't think Max misses, so like I'm probably gonna watch it.
That's one of those shows, like, I'll wait for the reviews. If it has good reviews, I'll watch. The same with Dune.
I think your voice has changed because that almost blew our ears out.
Oh, jeez.
Just a heads up.
So sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I think it was just me being loud.
Oh, maybe. Me and Jenna made the same face when the audio came through. So wait, what were you saying?
Oh, Derry's one of those things that I'll wait to see if the reviews are good. Same with Dune. Like, I'm not super excited for that show. If the reviews are good, I'll watch it. I am excited for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Now that's on the screen.
I feel like I'm in the dark on this. What is this?
It's I believe it's Dunk and Egg
Yeah.
from the books. That duo, like a night Sir Duncan the Tall. I read all the Game of Thrones books, but it was so long ago that it's all muddled in my brain. And so I can't reread them. It took me so long to read those books. They're real wordy.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I've read those books. Last of Us season 2 is coming. I'm very excited for that. Everybody take a good look and enjoy it, because he's not gonna have such a fantastic time probably.
No.
And yeah, so HBO Max coming out swinging in 2025. Oh, and by the way, Peacemaker coming after Superman season 2, dropping in August. I believe IGN might have dropped that one.
They did.
About a month after Superman hits theaters. So big year for the DC universe. It starts this year with Creature Commandos. Stay subscribed to my YouTube channel, by the way, and stay subscribed to Phase Hero, because there's just stuff coming. So that'll be exciting.
We gotta shout out Scott.
Yeah, wait, let me scroll up. Scott, you legend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's an insane super chat. We appreciate you. Brings to
Wow.
lose Tuesday, and Young Avengers have to go get Wanda for Secret Wars. Wait, I think there's a word or something.
I think it's kind of like asking if there will be like the Children's Crusade journey leading into Doomsday kind of a thing.
I could see it. I think what he means is that maybe the Avengers lose in Doomsday the way that they lost in Infinity War, and then one of the movies in between Doomsday and Secret Wars is a Young Avengers Children's Crusade situation, and then that's where we go get Wanda. I could see that. I think that could work.
I'm down for that. Thank you.
Yeah, Scott. That's twice, by the way. Scott.
Seriously. Thank you.
Stop wallpapering Aaron's whole house.
That's like what happens, when somebody comes up to you and they give you a compliment and you don't know what to do. It's like, oh, you look so nice today, and like you're just like, oh, thank you, you too. That's kind of how I feel right now. Thank you, Scott. Yeah. All right, so we've got through Peacemaker, Superman, Max teaser, all that stuff. There's one trailer left, and then we got to talk. We got to move quickly here, because we are 45 minutes in. We started a little bit late, and we have Brad Winderbaum coming to the show in a bit, so we got to wrap up and give ourselves time to prep for that. Mission Impossible. Let's tee the trailer up here real quick. Before Jamie, just do your thing.
Listen, this is my franchise. There's like few things in this world I love more than Mission Impossible, and I still have this heartbroken feeling about the fact that we don't have Elsa Faust. Like, Rebecca Ferguson is my favorite part of these movies, and I will forever be mad that they kind of just decided to replace her with Haley Atwell. I think it's maybe she just didn't want to do it anymore. But this movie, we are getting connections from the original. We are getting the Mission Impossible 3 Easter eggs are up in here. Like, they're calling it the Final Reckoning, which I feel like they want to market it as the end. But I don't think Tom Cruise will ever be ready to say fully goodbye. Like, I don't think they're going to kill Ethan, because I don't think Tom Cruise wants to ever officially close the chapter. And I think there was a rumor or something I saw that like he wants Glenn Powell to take over for him. And it's interesting because 10 years ago, Jeremy Renner was supposed to take over for him.
Yep.
Tom Cruise is going to be like doing this until he falls out of an airplane and dies. I really think he's going to die making Mission Impossible 13. Also, I want to point out that Angela Bassett was supposed to be in Dead Reckoning, but couldn't because of COVID stuff. And she's the president. Like, it was obvious to me in the last movie she was the president because her picture was on the wall. But like, heck yeah, Angela Bassett president. Let's go. You guys, this movie looks amazing. They always look amazing. Every movie in this franchise is amazing.
Jenna, what do you think of this trailer?
How do you follow that? How do you follow Jamie's rant about Mission Impossible? Anything I say, I feel like I'm just like at half speed compared to Jamie. But yeah, I think this trailer is so great. I agree that it's definitely, I would be shocked if this is truthfully the end. I feel like it might be the end of certain characters. It looks like people are really speculating that Benji's going to die, because like also Simon Pegg's Instagram posts when they were filming seemed very much like it was the end for him. Jamie just cried, for anyone who's listening in audio, just at the thought of that. But I definitely, it doesn't seem like they're going to definitively close the door, but it might just be a culmination of what we've seen so far, which I think is totally fine. I also think the movie just looks beautiful. The color grading, the amount of color in certain sequences, whereas like other movies would just be super gray and muted. I'm glad that this movie is like taking the extra step.
I want to say I really enjoy Mission Impossible movies, but I don't have like an affinity for the lore of Mission Impossible like Jamie does. And so when I watched this trailer and it leaned so much into the history of Mission Impossible, I thought that was cool, but it didn't really. I wasn't like, I'm going to watch this movie day one, no matter what. This trailer didn't do more to make me more excited. That's all I will say. Like, it's freaking Mission Impossible. I'm going to go. I know I'm going to have a good time. Tom Cruise is going to do some crazy shit. I'm going to go, how does this dude survive these movies? How does Chris McQuarrie keep letting him do it? And I'm going to then pretty quickly after that, though, I'm going to think only about the stunts and the amazing filmmaking and not really about the story. And that's, for me, that's just how I feel sometimes with these movies. And I also agree with the Rebecca Ferguson takes you had there.
Ugh, they can't. If this is the end, the Oscars better add a stunt category, because this has been, we've been saying it for years, add a stunt category. And if they add a stunt category after this franchise is over, that's just cruel. 2026, let's get a stunt category in there.
Yeah, stunts need to be there. I mean, David Leitch and his team, like the 87 North team, they deserve recognition. We got a comment here. Reswig. Is Breadwinner I'm going to be on a separate live or this live as well? I'm confused about that. It's going to be a separate live. Today's episode is going to end. This podcast audio, if you're listening to it in podcast form, it's going to end. And there will be a separate podcast audio, a separate live stream on the same channel, same playlist, all that stuff. And we will get that link ready for you, very quickly after this show wraps up, which is why we have to wrap up at a decent time, because I have quite a bit of prep I have to do to have Brad on. Brad's a big deal, and we're very excited for him to join us. We also still have to talk about Venom really quickly at the end of the show because we need to rate it. Well, Aaron's not here.
We can't do that without Aaron.
Yeah,
we have to
Venom show.
Yeah, we have to punt it to next week when all four of us are here. It's not right.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, so one last topic here. Star Wars. I mean, what the hell's going on with Star Wars? No one knows. So Hollywood Report had a big article about this, which got summarized in a Culture Crave tweet. And I just took the Culture Crave tweet as a means to speed this up. Here's the bullet points. Multiple films in development that overlap characters and timelines. They could impact the others from happening. Rey is a key character in several of them. Some Lucasfilm directors are aware of what others are working on, while others are not. The OG trilogy is considered the Old Testament. You're being asked to create the New Testament, and no one can agree on anything, and there's a lot of second-guessing about meanings, is the quote that's going around behind the scenes, apparently. Another source says, Star Wars is nostalgia-based enterprise, and they are running out of ways to create nostalgia. Another quote from sources, to make standalone movies or continuing the Skywalker saga in any form is a fundamental question the company faces as it tries to move forward. And then the last bullet point here is TV side has a lot more freedom and is not having these problems.
This is exhausting.
I mean, these reports are damaging the franchise too. Mm-hmm. Like, the hardcore fans are the front line to get people excited. And if the hardcore fans are tired of this shit, they're not going to get people excited. Now, the mainstream audience sometimes is not going to be tapped into the hardcore fans, and that you might just drop a good trailer and get people excited. But this is just so messy, and it's been so messy for so long that it's hard to care anymore.
I do have to say, as much as I agree that like these reports don't necessarily help, I also think there's nothing in this that we didn't already kind of see with the writing on the wall. I think like there was the Simon Kinberg movie announcement of a new trilogy in the past week, and people immediately jumped to the idea of like, is this even going to happen, or is this going to just join the laundry list of projects that had previously been in development and ultimately got scrapped? So I think that this just provides more insight on what already seems to be happening behind the scenes. I like the nostalgia-based quote, because I do think that is kind of hitting the nail on the head in some ways. I also, we didn't even talk about the Skeleton Crew trailer, but like that to me is what I want out of Star Wars going forward. I want something new. I want something different that is just like trying to expand the franchise and not just like double back around on it. And it'll be interesting to see in the future if that is actually what they do, or if they just keep pivoting back to nostalgia.
My thing with Star Wars will always be, I love Star Wars so much that I don't watch it critically like I do Marvel or anything else. I just enjoy it because it's been my favorite thing since I was 5, and there's been no recent thing I haven't liked. I will forever be heartbroken that The Acolyte was canceled. I am pissed, and I'm excited for Skeleton Crew. I'm so excited for Andor season 2, but also it's like, get it together. I just like I was so excited for this Rey movie and all this stuff, but here's the thing: it is so hard for me to be annoyed about Star Wars. I don't care. I'm like, I love it. Give me. And then you're gonna bring in Simon Kinberg? Are you freaking kidding me?
Say what you meant.
I've ranted about Simon Kinberg in the past. You all know how I feel. And I know that, well, he worked on Rebels and Rebels is amazing. Yeah, Rebels is amazing. But his track record is a lot bigger and worse than just working on Rebels. The man can't write women. And I would like some... I don't want him anywhere near Rey. Not that was confirmed if that's where he's going to be. But keep that man away from her. I'm not kidding. I'm so mad. And again, yes, Rebels is an amazing show. But that's one thing. That's one good show. I'm so like I've never been so disappointed in my life. That's all. Richard!
Please no episodes 10 through 12. I don't care for episodes 10 through 12. I'm excited for Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm enjoying most of what's on television. I didn't really care that much for Acolyte. I liked it more in theory and when it started in trailer form than in execution in the full episodes. I really liked Ahsoka. I really enjoy most of what Mandalorian does. I feel like it started stronger than it's finished so far. What else has been out there on Disney Plus so far? Andor's fantastic. So they're doing it. Andor. I just got a date. It's when? Does anybody remember the date for Andor?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Same. But Andor 2025 got a date, or a window. But I think that TV is just doing a better job, which is probably why TV has more freedom. I think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a really good handle on this stuff. And people liked Acolyte. It wasn't my cup of tea, but there are people who did. So, and I really like Leslie Headland quite a bit. The person Leslie Headland, I think, is freaking awesome. I really like her. And I wanted to like it more than I did. I just didn't end up really enjoying it. But I really think for the most part, the Disney Plus stuff has been better than the organization of the movies. The movies are a disorganized pile of crap that you can't get invested in because they don't even happen.
I think it's this problem of since Rise of Skywalker, which people can have so many postmortems on Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker and whether Rise of Skywalker should have been delayed and not maybe put out when it was. But I think that they're scared to have a Star Wars movie be the first Star Wars movie since all of that. And I think that's why Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be the first one because it's like safe and it's reliable. But I ultimately don't know if that's going to help the franchise in the long run or if it is just going to be an Ouroboros back around on itself.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I really liked the sound of James Mangold's movie, exploring like the origin. Like that sounded really cool, and James Mangold's fantastic. But at this point, it's just hard to care. It's hard to care when there's news, there's promises, there's whatever, because getting invested. Is it reaching Sony level?
No,
they're better when they get made, but trust, I don't know. Okay, we're going to wrap up today's show before our Brad Winderbaum interview. A couple of comments we need to shout out real quick before they go too far up there. Motor World Hype says, Phase Hero Patreon when? Patreon, I don't know about Patreon. It makes me just, I don't know. I don't like asking, it's not like we're asking people for money. You're literally asking us to do it, but we'll cross that bridge maybe someday. I like to be able to just provide this stuff and hopefully find ways to do it and find partners and stuff. Brandon Moore, thank you, dude. Brandon's been one of the real ones for years, been supportive on social media, been a good force just in the world. Brandon's awesome. Cheers to getting Brad Winderbaum on the show. Love seeing y'all cook. Brandon, we love you. Thank you so much, man. Let's do a watch along, says get fun code Max. What are you talking about for what? Watch along. Maybe we'll do a Phase Hero watch along one day. Get the four of us on here. We all press play at the same time. That'd be fun. All right. That's our show. Jenna, any last words for today's first episode of Phase Hero before we have Brad Winderbaum on?
It's at Hey It's Jenna Lynn on social media. As always, go read some comics. The second issue of Absolute Batman drops today, and it is unbelievable. It is so good. If you are not reading that book, you need to change it immediately because it is an outstanding, outstanding book. And go follow my YouTube channel, which is also titled Go Read Some Comics. I posted a video yesterday just kind of about hope in uncertain times and looking for a better tomorrow in the fiction that we enjoy, and particularly in superheroes. superheroes. And the response has been overwhelming and a lot of positivity, which has just really made me happy.
Jamie?
Shout out to Ryan in the comments who wants me to rant about the sexiest man alive, and I'll tell you, it's not like things with Simon Kinberg where it's a quality of art creation. So I'm opting to, if you don't have anything nice, don't say anything at all on this particular subject.
Whoa. Okay, John Krasinski is the closest I'm ever going to come to winning that award.
I think that he is a sexy man. I just don't see the relevance in 2024. I just said I wasn't going to do this. No, listen, everybody, just don't have your phones out in the movie. It's really distracting. It's really rude. Go see some movies though, because there's like some good stuff out. That's not just the big stuff. Anora's awesome. I just saw Heretic, which I liked. I didn't love, but just go see some stuff. Have fun. Be nice.
And that is our first show of the day, everybody. Thank you so much. We got to shout out Monty, who also said +1 on the Patreon. Welcome. I don't think
we'll figure it out.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe. But thank you guys. We got to shout out a comment here. Jamie, wait, no, none of you. Oh, Jamie, you saw it. Yeah. Maud says Wicked is awesome. We were planning to talk about Wicked today. Wicked is phenomenal.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, I feel like when Wicked's out, I think we just need a Wicked episode. I'm calling it now. I'm requesting it. I put it out into the universe, and we'll see what happens. Maybe a Wicked Gladiator 2 combo episode.
Oh, that would be fun.
Max says, BD, follow the money. Max, listen to me, bro. I'm going to tell you something right now. One thing I do is follow the money. I generate money, and I'm working on it. It is one of my top priorities because I love doing this show, and we have a ton of fun doing it, and I like talking on YouTube. But I need it to be a sustainable living, and let's talk early next year. I bet you following the money is the only thing I'm going to have an option to do. So we'll figure it out. But thank you all so much for hanging out today. Brad Winderbaum is on the show in less than 2 hours. So Marvel's head of TV, streaming, and animation is going to be joining us. And we hope you'll come hang out with us because we guarantee there is going to be news out of that. There's going to be exciting bits of knowledge. It's going to be really cool. I'm always going to plug Jenna's YouTube channel. It's at Go Read Some Comics, as she always says. And the video she just posted, not only did she just talk about the Absolute Universe Batman comic that came out, she did a whole video already about the Absolute Universe and how good it is, and then just dropped a video about Hope and just talked about the DC Universe and all kinds of stuff that she's expecting and versus what we've already gotten. And it's a really good video. Jenna, you're good at this stuff, so please keep going. I hope everybody will go subscribe and encourage you to keep doing it. I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody. Play our show for your dad. Play it for your cat. We will see you in just under 2 hours with Marvel's Brad Winderbaum. Later.